replace belts on a 1990s Toyota HiAce van with petrol 2HZ engine. Avoid driving the vehicle with missing belts. Access to the engine is under the front seats. Undo the four 14mm driver's seat bolts. Then lift out the seat. At the front of the passenger seat, release the catch and latch, then fold down the seat back. Lift up the seat and engine access panel to hang on the plastic strap out of your way. Unclip and remove the floor mat from under the driver's seat. Then undo all the 12mm bolts around the outside of the access panel. You can leave the handbrake assembly alone, but just be careful not to accidentally release it. Unclip the connector for the handbrake wire, and then the panel can be rotated outward to give better access to the engine. There are 3 belts, all driven from crankshaft pulleys. From front to back, they are the aircon V belt, 4-ribbed fan and power steering belt, and 5-ribbed alternator belt. It's probably gloomy and dirty in there, so degreasing and a good light source are helpful for this job. I chose to remove the distributor cap with its 3 8mm or Phillips head bolts for extra arm room. I removed the power steering bolts and its pulley so it could be moved out of the way, and that's the alternator belt tension adjuster where my little finger is waving. And to remove this annoying Y-shaped bracket which forms a loop against the motor, one side of the alternator belt needs to go through that loop behind the bracket, so I made a removable section in the bracket to make belt replacement easier in the future. It'll probably last forever now. I chose to remove the fan belt tensioner assembly by undoing its 3 12mm bolts for extra access and visibility and to lubricate it. Took the pulley off as well. To adjust belt tension, loosen the pulley bolt, then turn the adjuster bolt to move the pulley clockwise to tighten, anti-clockwise to loosen. Removing the fan by undoing the 4 12mm nuts helps with access to the belts. The black plastic fan shroud is secured with 2 10mm bolts. Removing them gives slightly more arm wiggle room. You will learn to hate that thing. Removing the coolant overflow pipe and reservoir cap gives more room. Try to turn the pointy ends of hose clamps away to be kind to your forearms, because those things will gouge you. Each belt has a tensioner. The alternator belt tensioner is under the power steering pump on the left and can be hard to see. That's it there. Once you've fitted the belts in the right order, from back to front, tension the belts using the adjusters and then tighten the pulley bolts to hold them there. A 14mm swan neck ring spanner is ideal for these pulley bolts. A 14mm socket on an extension with a ratchet socket wrench is ideal for the right side adjusters. You'll have to figure it out on the left side because it's real tight in there. When everything's back the way it should be, make sure it's back where it came from, especially the distributor cap. And start the engine and check that the belts all run as intended. Not too tight, not too loose with slip